What's up, YouTube? Have you all noticed how women are flipping out about paternity fraud? Also, pay attention to what that says. Paternity fraud is only now being taken serious, even though that's a criminal offense, always has been. But how many women have actually gotten in trouble for it? Not many. How many do we know that has actually done it in the open? As in, it's all over the internet that that's what they're doing and they don't care. Right. Um, how many women are losing their mind because they don't get all the money now? As in, they don't get child support and be able to claim the kids. I think you all need to pay attention to their reactions and the fact that this has been going on for decades, and these women, they don't care about what's wrong or right. They only care about what's beneficial to them. The one girl that ran her mouth saying that, the one judge told her it was reimbursement for what she spent on the kids. Bullshit. Because most of y'all say you can't even make it without that fucking child support, that you were in so distressed without it. But as soon as you get it, you spend it on yourself and your boyfriends and partying. Get the fuck out of here. Wouldn't that leave that child in the same position? See, there's a lot of men that won't pay child support because they know what that woman's going to do. And they're called deadbeats. But these women aren't, even though they know what they're setting these men up for. Women are little demons. They are. I don't care what anybody says. That's exactly what they are. Yeah, I don't know how many women that I've seen jump on a man for working, literally working, and throw it in his face because he works so much. What do you expect him to do? Isn't that what he's supposed to do? How does he get penalized for that later? Yeah, see, they'll bitch about it, make him feel like shit, make him, take up all this time and ruin what he's built for the family by saying that, and then divorce him and take it all. Right. But nobody's paying attention to what those actions are. Oh, of course they're going to come up with excuses. He beat me. He cheated on me. He's never around. Blah 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 blah. It's always something stupid. What happens when she has a career and she's never around? Oh, that's okay. But if a man's doing it because the woman is just coming off a pregnancy, might be pregnant, might not be able to work, he doesn't get any real acknowledgement for that. She takes it off. Another thing I'm noticing is women always try to act like they're better with finances than the men. They always try to make these men appear to be incompetent or talk that they're incompetent to their friends and all that. See, this is why relationships are being ruined right there. And imagine that. The common denominator is the woman. Yeah, it's the same thing as what I call a grandpa or grandma effect. Because it's their granddaughter, they think they are so innocent that she didn't mean it, or somebody's got it wrong. Yeah, okay. It's our fault. We put them out here as these precious little things that are evil little creatures that we're supposed to take care of. This is what they put out on the internet all the time. And I'm over here like, what the fuck? First of all, if a dog bit you that many times, that dog be put down. So if she's gonna bite you that many times, she needs to go. Yeah, I learned that from making those mistakes. Everybody telling me, well, you know, it's your bed, you have to lie in it. Nobody ever stays together anymore. Yeah, that's exactly what got me this far with this last fucking relationship. After Jen, I didn't want to go with anybody. I had this girl just constantly showing up in my ear. And I don't know. I've always taken that if a guy does that, it's stalking. If a girl does that, it's just weird or cute, depending on how it's done. But yeah, I was basically rebounded, and I still think somebody sent her to do that. And I'm thinking it was her mama. Well, didn't you say before you thought it was your brother? Yeah, I think it was both of them. I think my brother was the one who talked her mother and her into what they did. Because, yeah, he'd show up asking me for money and shit, and then try to ask her to go out and have a ride and talk to them. They'd be out for 5 hours, y'all. I only did it once. And she comes back and she's just acting weird. And I'm like, yeah, I know something's up. I'll wait for you to tell me. And it took her until that night. And she thought that she was going to let a little bit out. Oh, he just wouldn't stop, and he made me kiss him. Nobody can make you do that. I stood up and said, "We're done," and walked out. And of course, I get the tears, and I made a mistake. I'll never do it again. Blah 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 blah. And she did it every fucking day, every day. Yeah, there's some women they don't give a fuck how good you are to them, or how good their life is at all. They will fuck it up. It's called BPD. You dumb fucks out here. Oh, well, that means it's this. That means it's that. No, it doesn't. That Some of the scenarios you all say could be prevalent in millions of relationships. Let's say it's true for millions. Okay, you have billions of relationships out there. Not millions, billions. That's hundreds of millions. Okay, so just because you have a few million people that might seem like this is the way things go, you have more millions out there that are not doing that. And that's what I mean. Your guys' perception of people and million, billion, trillion, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You have no clue how much that is physically. $1 trillion in $100 bills is enough money to fill in New York City, completely fill it to where you can't see the buildings, nothing. Okay, your government is missing. Wow, I don't even know what comes after trillion, but they're into that. If they're not into it, they're damn close to it. Whatever it would be. Quadrillion, I guess, is next. That's funny. We used to make these words up as we were kids, trying to get to the highest number we could think of. And million million was around, I believe, but billion wasn't. Billion was 90s and 2000 thing. That's when we started hearing about billion bracket. Really, from 2000s up to about 2010 and between there. That's when you really started hearing about all the billionaires like Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos and Zuckerberg coming on the scene. And pretty funny how these young motherfuckers come on the scene and just end up with billions. Well, that's because there's a lot of people paying them money on their apps. No, that's not why. They had billions before that. Where'd they get it? Somebody gave it to them. I guess you all are forgetting about private investors and silent partners. Yeah, I've already connected SpaceX and the 36 trillion that's missing from the Pentagon. You know, they said we are 36 trillion in debt, and then they found all this, waste and fraud and all that. Then they said that there was a $1 trillion, money thing going on with the Pentagon. That there was 36 trillion that is untraceable, plus the other that is untraceable. That's funny that we are exactly 36 trillion in debt, and that is exactly what's missing from the Pentagon, and that is exactly what paid for the bunkers under the Cheyenne Mountains, which is also just happens to be right over top of all of our oil that is untapped, supposedly untapped. Why do you think they've been going after the Middle East and all the other people that have a lot of oil and not saying anything about theirs? Right? They're trying to drain them so they can become as rich as the Middle East with oil, and they can control people. They're not going to be as uh, forthcoming with it as the Middle East is. But also think about that. The guy that's trying to push robots and electric cars has bunkers that he stole money from us to build right over top the oil. Big stuff happens to the earth, which they are pushing for. And yeah, this stuff that's coming upon the earth is all this group. Yes, it is. Every bit of it. Yeah, it's the Satanists. What do you think they've been doing all this crazy shit for? Yeah, they research Satan and they research all the holidays he has. And yeah, we're actually celebrating a lot of them. Pagan Rome. Yeah, we're a spitting image of pagan Rome. NASCAR is the chariot races. Football, baseball, that's all gladiator stuff. Yeah, they just made it look nicer, just like they did with slavery. They just made it look nicer. They manipulated you better. That's it. Pretty sure that's where the pay attention to actions, not words, comes from. I don't know how we've went from the Boston Tea Party, the fact that the Freemasons and witchcraft people were the ones that built our government and set it all up and have been running it since then. But we trust one side or the other. I don't see why. Even a magician is a thief, robber, liar, manipulator, and people are wowed by their tricks because they're able to take your focus off of what they're doing. That's exactly what the government's doing. Are all of them bad? No, I don't believe they are. I think a lot of them are brainwashed into believing that they're doing what is right. I think a lot of them know what they are doing and they just don't care. But we all know that most women are really, really bad with money. The only reason why they seem like they're doing real good is because they have people giving them shit, paying for meals, taking them on dates, paying for their car note, paying for bills, shit like that. And you have men out here that have money and will run their mouth and, oh, she's lying. Yeah, gotta take care of the women. You're an idiot. And no, to the ladies that truly don't indulge in any of this stuff, you're awesome. Stay that way. To the women, 80% of you out there, yeah, don't get it twisted, men, 80% of the women out there are doing this. You know, I do talk a lot about the women and how bad they do shit. There are men out there, well, let's say males out there, because they're not men if they do that. Pretty funny how the name gentleman has been changed to man, a real man. And half the time, y'all don't even know what that is. A lot of these Gen Xers swear up and down that they are. No, you're not. You have a lot of good wisdom, yes, but that's you only gain wisdom from watching other people screw up and learning the right way not to do things, or you screwing up. It's the only way you gain it. So shut up. Internet has just warped people. They're the ones that came out with that Gen X is this, Gen X is that, and everybody freaking believed it. Of course, Gen X does. I believe that's where fantasy versus reality played the most part in our society. And you know what Chat GBT says about somebody saying to you that you have a problem with fantasy versus reality when you can't understand the difference? It says that that's a manipulation tactic. It says that that's narcissistic. Imagine that. This is where you all are getting what is narcissist and what is not. A narcissist will lie. They will use bad facts, facts that don't condemn them to hurt you. That doesn't mean every person that is getting on you about what you've done and what you believe is not a fact. That doesn't mean that every person that does that is a narcissist. Sometimes they're getting on the narcissistic person for trying to get away with that shit. Yeah, this one psychopathic woman tried doing that, and she didn't put in the whole conversation. She put in one comment, and I'm laughing because I'm like, really? Here we go. Every morning, he loses something, and somebody stole it. Then he finds it later. And then he loses something else and starts cussing at everybody. And he's burnt out and has brain injuries. But nobody's allowed to intervene. I don't know. He's calling somebody a faggot, and that they don't work, and that's that. He's the only one that doesn't work in here. I mean, he does get disability, but he spends that and way more. He does. He'll spend at least $60 to $100 a day. Yep, he runs out and buys $5 coffees at Dunkin' all the time. He'll, if he doesn't go there, he'll go to the other place, which is like $3 to $4 a cup of coffee, and he'll do that like 5 or 6 times a day. He'll run the NCW 5 and 6 times a day. It's insane. And his mother is the one that should be taking care of all this shit. It was her fault that he was out there drinking and doing what he did. But imagine that. Women are never held responsible for what they allowed to happen. Yeah, people, this is what happens when you spoil your kids. Right there. That dude has been spoiled his whole fucking life. No matter what he's done wrong, it has never been wrong. And I don't know why so many people won't say anything about what the hell these people have done. They act like the whole world's going to come crushing down just because the truth comes out. It's like, what? I miss the days where people weren't scared to say the truth. The actual truth, not your truth and my truth, which was started by females to manipulate. Yes, people started to believe that shit. Started to take women for what they were saying as reality. And that's how some of them did it. That there's three truths. There's not three truths. There's only one truth. Yeah, even my mom started believing that shit. She tried to say that to me about Tiffany. Well, that's her truth. Excuse me? What the fuck did you just say? She said, well, that's what's true to her. I said, no, there's only one truth. Y'all don't understand how damaging that is because now lies are being taken as truth. Just like that. And I know. Not all women are going to lie. Yes, they are. Every fucking one of them. Ladies don't lie. Women lie all the time. Yeah, these same ones out there getting sympathy for how bad men are to them, but they never mention what they've done. I think this is hilarious. Chris, Willie, and Brian, all drug addicts, all pedophiles. They are, every one of them. And they've been trying to attack my life since I started in this trade. And it took Tiffany and what she did with the kids to really hit that home. That is ridiculous. Oh, yeah, I've got people fucking bringing people around me to start shit silently. Yeah, just yesterday. Told somebody not to bring somebody to this house. They said, oh, really? We talked about it. I told them why. Guess who's the next person they bring by? The very person I told them to stay away from. They didn't learn their lesson when I told them about their husband and their friend and what they were doing. They were mad at me. Yeah, that's what I mean. This is what happens when people believe their own truth. Well, I don't believe that's true. I believe this is true. And next thing you know, they're in a big fucking mess that you could have avoided if you would have just paid attention. Yep, this is how good friends end up hating each other. It's how family members and families get ripped apart right here. I haven't even got my coffee yet this morning. Another thing, dude, told this person that, people don't like me working on vehicles here and all that stuff. And they asked me to price some stuff for them. So I did. All of a sudden, money is sent in a roundabout way with no discussion of anything other than they said that they wanted me to do the work. And I said, I'll price it for you, which means I'll show you how much it should cost you. You can go wherever you want to get it, but it should be around this price and this is what you need. That way it gives them ballpark an idea. And somehow that turned into money being sent and job being concrete is being done by me. And I didn't fucking know. You got to tell me that shit. Hey, I'm sending money. I would like you to do this. That's when we say, okay, I get everything set up. I give you a date. Money gets sent for parts. I order the parts. As soon as they come in, we put them on. So, yeah, see, he'll get money. He'll go out and spend it all. And then he'll wake up the next morning and act like somebody stole it or blah, 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 blah. Nobody steals from that dude. The only thief in this house is him. He'll steal left and right. But yeah, nobody else steals. And all this is just manipulation so they give him money. So they can have peace. And he knows it. This is exactly what my sister would do to them. This is what my brother would do to them. He did it a little differently. He did the same thing, but opposite emotional response. He played the laid back, calm, and cool shit and would get whatever the fuck he wants. Yeah. But because I'm the youngest, everybody uses. He's the youngest. He's spoiled. I'm not spoiled. Every fucking time I've been here, I pay rent. I fucking pay bills. I, you motherfuckers are the ones that have skated through without paying anything and robbing them blind for tens of thousands of dollars. Willie's Jeep. Oh yeah, he never paid any of that shit. Just like he did with the Camaro. And the only reason he went after that Camaro is because he knew it was mine and that it was promised to me. Yeah. Why would people do that to you? I don't fucking know. I don't know. I don't know if it's just the older sibling thing. I don't know. Now he's telling Pop to kick his wife's ass. That's your grandmother and my mother, and that'll never happen. No, it'd be different if my mom was physically attacking them and stuff like that. That's different for no reason. But if they physically attack her and just strum up shit to start a fight, yeah, that's not going down. I will get in that. My mom is 60, he is 80. John is running them into the ground. And of course, this will be another thing that's blamed on me once something else happens. Yeah, there's nothing going on. He's just starting a delusional fight. That's all that is. He can say exactly, he can have all this emotion to it, and it's all a lie. It's just him manipulating. I can't do nothing. Every time I even step in to protect them, Pop threatens me. Yeah. If they're flipping out because they can't find a charger and I go to offer a charger, I get cussed out. I did that the other day because Pop was trying to bug Mom. She's in the middle of cooking and he does this on purpose to piss her off. But he kept bitching about, he needed to charge his phone and blah 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 blah. And he sits on the chair and doesn't move. Only for these things. Any other time he gets up and gets whatever he wants. Right. I see a lot of people doing stuff like that. And people let them get away with it even though they just watched what they did. And it's like, you dumb fucks don't realize what you just watched. No, everything was fine. No, it wasn't. That was a whole lot of fucking manipulation bullshit going on there. None of it was true. But you guys sided with the one that was lying. That's hilarious. Well, if you know he's lying, why didn't you say something? I am saying something now. I was saying something the whole time before you all came together as a group to believe the bullshit that's coming out of this person's mouth. Why am I responsible for what your brain decided to do? I told you. You didn't listen. It's your fault. Now he's trying to drag me into it. Papa and Mama wanting him out. He's blaming everybody and saying he's not leaving. And if they call the cops, he's just not going to listen. And the cops don't do shit. They don't. He could be destroying this house, cussing them up one side down the other. They don't do nothing. Oh, we can't do anything. I can. I can do a lot. But I'm not allowed. Oh, yeah, it's the end of the world if I do anything.